kites. Kite counter. Oh, kite, geez, there's 3 over there. 4 in the space of 10 seconds. Good morning, everybody. My name is Bina, and this small dark gentleman, these intros are getting worse, is Walter. Welcome to the channel. It's Sunday morning. The weather is typically British. It's overcast, grey, a little bit chilly. I mean, it is July, of course, why wouldn't it be? And it's going to rain around about midday in a couple of hours' time, so I thought best get out, have a little bit of a poodle. Wow, that's a big house there. So yeah, here we are. I don't really have an awful lot to talk about today. I never really have an awful lot to talk about, to be fair, do I? So I might just have a little bit of a putter around and give the occasional bit of commentary. This isn't a route that I come down very often, but I should do. It's wonderful and twisty. I've been down there before, so let's go down here, see where it takes us. There are quite a few water towers around here, and I keep meaning to go and have a look at one. I never seem to be able to find them. I mean, we know by now just how bad my sense of direction is. Whenever I make the conscious decision to go and have a look at one, they seem to disappear. They're like constantly on the skyline until I decide to have a look. Yep, a load of mammals out today, although they aren't your traditional mammals there. If you're unfamiliar with the term mammal, it's middle-aged men in lycra, which is what the guys on road bikes are generally referred to as, but they look more like a mountain biking type collection of people. I don't know what it's called, mountain biking. It's probably something different now, isn't it? Adventure biking, I don't know. What's down here? I've never been down here. Ooh, we're about to go on a new adventure, which could be catastrophic because I don't actually have my sat nav on. I've got it recording my ride today. It does that because in the app it shows you a little heat map of your rides that you've been on. It tells you how long, what the distance, your maximum speed, that kind of thing, and then plots it against a map so you can see where you've been. But yeah, this is new. This looks like nice little roads. I say it's new, I've probably been down here half a dozen times already. Oh, I've just clocked over, well, a mile ago I've just spotted, I've gone over 900 miles. Not long until the 1,000 now. And I have to say, in the last maybe 100 miles, Walter has really loosened up. The engine has become a lot more responsive, which is nice. Okay, where are we going here? Greenhurst. Should we go down here? Let's go down here. I'm going to get hopelessly lost, I know I am, but that's part of the fun, isn't it? flash to go past. Got a cute little village. Where should we go now? Now behind me, we can take a time. Clop Hill, let's go there, shall we? Apologies for the sniffles, still getting over a cold. Gravenhurst. Sounds familiar. Whether I've actually been here, we don't know. I mean, I certainly don't know, do I? No, don't mention it. You do. Old church there. Jesus, the calves on that dude. It's the one bonus of being a mammal. Enormous calves, apparently. Oh, it's going to be a black over Bill's mothers. That is a very English saying if you are not an English person. Something that we usually say when there's a big black cloud on the horizon. It's a big black over Bill's mothers. I don't know where that's come from, or who Bill's mother is. Thanks, I had priority, but thank you. where on earth are we? I think we should probably take a left here. Yeah, because my sense of direction is amazing, so I definitely think we go left. I really have no idea where I am. I didn't really want to venture too far away from home because it said it was going to rain about 12 p.m. And it's 10 past 11 now. I'm about half an hour away from home. So I think I know where I am-ish. Which means I don't. Oh no, I do know where I am. Oh, check me out again. Is this the second? No, let's not get ahead of myself. I was going to say this is the second day running that I've successfully navigated my way back home, but it's not really that much of an achievement when I'm only about 20 minutes away from home on roads that I've been on numerous times. And actually, I don't know where I am. I've got a rough idea. I think I should get merch with that on, shouldn't I? I've got a rough idea of where I am. Proceeds to know absolutely nothing about the area he's in. Yeah, anyway, I was saying I didn't want to venture too far away from home because it was going to rain. I'm not really adverse to riding in the rain. I've done that a lot in the past. I've ridden in rain, snow, hail. It doesn't really bother me. I just don't fancy all the cleaning afterwards, and also I'm not wearing waterproof trousers or gloves, so that wouldn't be pleasant. But actually, when I first learnt to ride, I did what's called in the UK a direct access course. It must be called something other than that because it's DAS course, DAS. Direct access scheme, I think it is. And that basically means if you're over a certain age, which I think is 21, and you want to ride a motorcycle that's over a certain amount of horsepower. I don't know any of the details here, do I? But I think it's 47 horsepower or 49 horsepower, something like that. Yeah, if you want to ride over that, then you have to take a course, and then you have to ride under that 49 horsepower for a couple of years, I believe, until you can ride a big bike, so anything over that. But if you're over a certain age, which like I say, I think it was 21, you can do the DAS course, which means you have like 3 or 4 days intensive tuition on a bike, which is, I think they call it the A2, which is like 47 or 49 horsepower. So yeah, you have a few days instruction on those, and then you do your test at the end of the week. So you start off, you have your theory test that you have to pass, and then you do what's called a CBT, which is, I can't remember what that is. CBT, something basic test. And that's a test that enables you to ride like mopeds up to 125s. So you did that. So I think what did I do? It was one day. The first day I got there, I did the CBT, and then I did 2 days of 2 or 3 days of tuition in a group, and then it's the test on the final day, which I passed, thankfully. This was a really long, rambling explanation as to why I don't mind riding in the wet weather, isn't it? Yeah, so basically, I mean, I'd ridden like a Honda Cub, a Honda Super Cub previously, so I had a little bit of experience of riding something, but that was many years prior. So when I actually went for my desk course, I hadn't ridden anything bigger than that, and hadn't ridden for a long time, so nothing with clutch or anything of that nature. So it's a little bit daunting to start with, but really excited as well. And on the third day, oh, it's just got some rain, that's not great. On the third day of the instruction, the lessons, that's a better word for it, isn't it? It absolutely pissed it down with rain. I mean, proper apocalyptic rain. We're riding around some country roads. It started hailing really heavily. I know where I am. Yay! It started hailing really heavily. So much so that there was a large collection of hail in my crotch in the saddle. And as we crested a hill, whilst it was hailing, there was a big flash of fork lightning. It started thundering and lightning and really raining, and yeah, that was a real trial by fire, well, trial by water. And the instructors did say, because this was the day before the test, and the instructors did say if it rains like this on the test, they will cancel it because it's that bad. So we all kept our fingers crossed, and then the day of the test came, and it forecast rain, and it was a bit like this actually, quite overcast and cloudy and a bit windy on the day of the test. And so I started off doing all the manoeuvres, and then when it got to the emergency stop, followed by the turn in the road, the heavens opened and it absolutely tipped it down. So I had to do my emergency stop in heavy rain, and I'd never done an emergency stop in the rain, and bearing in mind this was before bikes in the EU were mandated to have ABS, so I had no ABS on the bike, and I fell off and died. No, obviously I didn't. I nailed it, and I nailed my turn in the road as well, and that was the bit that I was most worried about, because we all had a bit of a wobble on the day before the test, because we just could not get this turn in the road. So again, for people who aren't from the UK, you don't have to do the test. A turn in the road is basically you get to a road smaller than this one that I'm on. You have to go over to the left hand side at a stop, and then you have to, with your feet up, do a U-turn to the right and face the opposite direction. And then back again to the other side of the road, and you have to do all of that in a controlled manner without putting your feet down, otherwise it's an instant fail. And for some reason we could not get that, most of the people on the course, and we pulled over at one point during the lessons at some roadside cafe to have a bacon sandwich and a cup of tea, and everyone was just head down, not making eye contact, not talking to each other, just really glum. And the instructor said, "Oh, you're alright, miserable bloody lot, aren't you?" And yeah, I think at that point we all thought we're never going to get this, because we just kept putting our feet down all the time. It just was not clicking at all, and I was not confident going into the test at all. I thought, well, I'm definitely going to fail on that, and I'll give it my best. And then for it to start raining straight after, I was like, oh no, this is worst case scenario. But thankfully I actually nailed it, and I was really happy. And thankfully you don't have any comms. I don't know whether you do now, but you didn't have any radio comms with the instructor. I think it's just one-way comms, if I recall. Yeah, it was one-way comms, so he can talk to you, but you can't talk back to him. So yeah, thankfully he couldn't hear me going, "Yes! Get in!" after I'd done it. Oh man, it looks like I'm going to get wet. So I did that, and then I did the rest of the test, and I knew that I'd done really well. I thought, yeah, this is good, this has been a really good test, I think I've passed. And then we were just heading back to the test centre. I just worried you're going to find this funny. Now that you know that my sense of direction is awful. So I was headed back to the test centre, and the examiner, you just totter across the road there, mate, not a care in the world. I was heading back to the test centre, and the examiner told me to take a specific turn on a roundabout, and I took the wrong one. And not only did I take the wrong one, but he took the wrong one as well. So I went the wrong way and lost my examiner, and I just heard him on the comms saying, "It's okay, don't worry, I'll come and find you." And I was thinking, "Oh bugger, what have I done? Why have I lost him?" And not to worry, he'll find me. But the turn that I took me onto a really, really busy junction, like a crazy busy junction with lots of hatchings in the road. I couldn't remember whether I was allowed to be on those or not, and I thought, oh, you absolute idiot, what have you done? And I waited ages, and I thought, well, I can't hesitate at this junction, because I don't want to make it look like I'm hesitant, because I know that on the car test you can fail for being too hesitant. So I thought, I've got to get out of here. And the only way I could do that really was to kind of pull out into the middle of the road to stop traffic one side and hope that someone would give way on the other side, which I did. And as soon as I did that, I thought, well, that's it, I failed. What an idiot. And I was kicking myself. I was proper annoyed with myself, calling myself an idiot, and I was so downbeat the rest of the way to the back to the test centre, which was literally about 2 minutes away. And so we got back. I was looking really glum, and the examiner, he sat across from me. We went back into the test centre. He sat across from me on the table, and he leant back in his chair, put his hands behind his head and closed his eyes so that he could recall my ride and then make notes. And the whole time I'm thinking, oh, he knows what I've done. He knows I've failed. So he did that for a while, and then he made some notes, and he looked up and he said, "I'm pleased to tell you that you have passed." I thought, oh my God, you bastard. He knew what he was doing. So I had passed, and he gave me a couple of advisories. I think one, I was in the wrong lane at some point, but I did correct that, and I did the proper checks over my shoulder and indicating and whatnot, so that was just a minor. Another one, I'd left my indicator on for a bit too long, which I thought was a bit niggly, to be fair. But that was it, yeah, and I passed. So yeah, that was a very long-winded way of saying I don't really mind riding in the rain, because I think I had probably the worst ride in the rain possible. on my lessons and tests when I first started in the world of motorcycling. But I don't want to now. I'm old and I don't have waterproofs on at the moment. I mean, God, I rode to work when I used to commute. My commute was about 30 miles, 25, 30 miles every day each way. On the M1. You don't know what the M1 is? It's the major motorway in England. And I've been up and down that in some dreadful weather. Absolutely lashing it down in the dark winter. I don't actually mind it at all. It feels quite nice. There's some masochistic, bizarre reason. It feels quite nice to brave the elements. It feels like you've accomplished something. Getting to the end of the journey. Well, you've accomplished not dying, I guess. But yeah, it is now a race to get home. And yes, I do know how to get home from here. So I think I'll end it here. I hope you enjoyed that weird rambling rant about my my journey into motorcycling in terms of my test, etc. And I hope you enjoyed the little journey around the new roads. Nobody indicates here anymore, I'm sure. So yeah, let's call it a day. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are. I hope you're getting out on your bike. I hope you're treating yourself well, looking after your mental health. So ride safe, keep your shiny side up, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye everyone.